What's up, fish tank people? FishTankTV.com, Dustin's Fish Tanks, bringing it to you on a Sunday, baby. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well today. It's a great day for me and a sad day for me. My little baby Maya turns 3 today, so I'm gonna make it quick today because I gotta get in there and party with my three-year-old style. Emotional dad. His only baby's 3 now. It's crazy. So I got some good stuff for you today, but first I want to give a shout out to Rick, 2325, I believe it is. Me and I did a one-on-one. You can check out his video. Did a nice little Q&A with him. Sure to check that out. It's kind of cool. Has some cool questions for me, so it was fun to do a little collaboration. So definitely go check out the Rick's video. Rick, thanks for reaching out for me, and thank you for your patience on doing that video. So it's Species Sunday today, but as you all know, I'm in the middle of aquascaping this 40 tall, and I got to tell you, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm going nice and slow with it, and I'm having a real good time. Last week we talked about how to do 2 different types of gravel in one tank, and I showed you guys how to do that. Today I'm going to talk about how to tie the actual plants to the rocks. I'm going to show you how to tie narrowleaf Java fern to a little rock, and then I'm also going to talk about some foreground plants that I've selected for this, and then I'm also going to show you a couple of options for my main focal point plant in this. So let's get into it. Well, I'll show you the modification of the gravel real quick. You guys can see I had the gravel right here. I had it as an arch. And what I did was it was like an actual arch. I took this part back further. So I went and I took that back further because I wanted to give this like extension of this beach back here. So it was like a rounded arch like that, and I decided to take that back. So I'm glad I made that correction, obviously before I had water in there. So that took a little bit of work, but I set the old tripod back down. You all so spoiled with this wonderful tripod here. But so I'm showing you that. I just wanted to show that modification there. And then I want to back into it, and I want to show you these rocks. Now I was doing the rocks around the edge here like so. But what I've done is I've said, okay, I've made my selection. I was going back and forth between Bulbitis, I was going to do Baby Tears, Staro, and I've decided to go with Anubias Nana Petite. And what I'm going to do is take it, and I've already affixed it to rocks like this. I'm going to show you how to do this. Anubias, this tank is screaming, in my opinion, for Anubias Nana Petite. So I'm going to roll with it like this, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to set these along here like so. I've also got narrow Java fern rolling, which is also a cool plant. And what I like about the narrow Java fern is it kind of will give me this effect where it kind of comes out over the beach, so I like that. Show you some more of these. So this was the hard part for me though, was getting the little the beach action going, if you will. And then I've got, these have been in water over here. I've got another piece of Anubias Nana Petite that I'm gonna set in here like so, and I'm trying to not show that little edge there, the difference in the gravel. There we go. There we go. And then I've got this one right here. Now these are done on pretty smooth, well-rounded rocks, which is fine, except for sometimes if you mess with it too much, the thread will kind of come off. Now what I've done is I've made sure that the roots, not the rhizome, but the roots are all the way around the bottom here, and so that way they can go on down into that oh so delicious dirt. And I will say it takes a while for these plants to look good tied to these. I mean, it takes a minute. They've been kind of messed with, so you got to give them a second to get established and get affixed and all that, and that's just part of the process. So I've got this other one here. I'm going to show you this one. Now this one I did with a rock with a little more character to it, a little more edges, little stuff. It was a little easier for the thread to stay on. So this is the effect that I'm going for here, and I really like how this I did this in my 220 originally with Java Fern Wendelov, and it turned out really cool. So I'm going to continue on there, and I've got right here I've got another piece of narrow Java Fern, and it's real simple, folks. You just take it, you hold it like this, you kind of get your spots, and you just wrap it around. And that's why I say the rocks with the character are a little easier, because you can kind of get a little edge. And you just take it, I mean, this is, you know, black thread, CVS, $2.37. Not hard, not expensive. And you take your time with this, and you make sure you've got a couple of pieces of leaves that are not cooperating with me here. But you just make sure that you got them all kind of up and fluffed up. And you just take your thread and go through, and this piece wants to bend down on me, so I'm just going to go under it like this. And you just roll like that. It's pretty easy. And I don't even tie it, I just kind of get it on there like so. And then I set the rock down on top of the thread. And that's kind of what we're going for there. That'll work. And if you're patient, which you should be, you can actually, this would be too much. I'd actually take this other piece right here off, and I'd tie it to a different piece of rock, because I know it'll grow in, so I'm willing to wait that time to have this piece become its own little thing. But for the sake of this video, we'll get it rolling. So I've got these here, and I'm showing you this, and I like that how it's going. I still haven't fully committed to either one of them yet. I'm not really sure. Once the scape gets going, I'll know. But I'm going to roll with that, and then I want to show you guys the background I'm using, or not, excuse me, background, one of the foreground plants I'm using, but I'm going to use it kind of as a background plant too. And that's Staurogyne Repens. That's a new plant I've got up on Dustin's fish tanks for sale. I got a little bit of it left. Really a cool plant. I'm having a lot of fun with this sucker here. So I don't typically use tweezers, but for this one I will. And now how I'm going to plant this is a little different than most, because I use my dirt and I trust my dirt. So I'm going to take this plant and actually stick it down a little further than most to get these roots into the dirt down there, or close to it. And then I'll rely on the plant to work its way up out, because I'd rather the roots be touching the dirt and the plant be a little like further down in the sand, because I know it'll come up, than the plant be like perfectly planted on top and the roots not be able to get to the dirt. So that's my move there. And I'll just plant this back here. Hopefully I'm not showing you guys any crack like the last video. So I'll go down a little deeper there with these. And I'm going to use Staro all along, probably 3/4 of this area right here. And I'm just going to get a few in there to kind of show you guys where this is heading. Now, and I'm going to plant this probably about 1 inch apart, give or take, because I know it'll come up, and do a little action like that. Kind of make sure that the roots are way down in there. I feel that that's a better way to go. And if you're going to be messing around for a while, you're going to want to spray these plants down, keep them wet. They can handle drying out a little bit, but try to keep them moist. So I'm going to do a whole Staro kind of thing in through here. Let's see here. Get this bad boy going. Now I'll put like 5 pieces in there, and then I want to show you the fun part here. This is the really sexy part for me. I've got this Driftwood, and look, folks, I like this Driftwood. I don't love it, okay? I like it, I don't love it, but I will show you it. I've got it, and I'm going to put it in here, and I want to show you kind of the big 2 focal point plants I'm going to use in cooperation with this piece of Driftwood. So here we go. This is going to go in here. Now I'm not going to put this in the center. I do like the point coming across the beach to kind of like tie that in. I like that, but I don't want it to be too far. That's why I actually modified the beach when I had this piece of Driftwood in there. It wasn't working when I had it, so I'm going to pull this back just a tad, have that pointing over there, and that's the effect I'm going for. I like that. I like the way we've got this started here. When I fill this up with water, these will kind of perk up. And then let's show you the plan B for the focal point plant. Plan B plant will be right here. This is a type of crenum. I actually don't know the scientific name of this. If anybody does, please help me out, because this is a really, really awesome beginner plant. It's different than the onions I sell on Dustin's fish tanks, but very cool plant. One of the original bad boys I had. And yeah, this is actually one of the plants I had in my old 40 tall in college that really got me hooked on aquarium plants, because it's such a fast growing species. So
what I'll do is I'll take this down and I'll put it in here. Now look, I don't like where this sits in here. I actually am going to modify this wood and cut it back a little bit so that the plant will sit more, it'll be down in, but it'll sit more this way, because it just didn't like it out that far in the middle. That's not really working for me. So I'm going to actually take this driftwood and cut it a little bit just to get this over about 1 inch. And these are the kind of like little tweaks you're going to do all the time. So it's not like a wham bam boom, it's done and it's set. Like, you know, you're always tinkering, you're always tweaking. So this is kind of, yeah, you can see that would look pretty sweet. That'll give me that effect. That'll float out there. You know, that'll be a hot little number in there. But I got more. Shout out to my man Mason in New York who sent me these great plants. He's tearing down a tank. I'm gonna hook him back up when it gets reestablished. I don't do it all the time, but this is I mean, look, Crenum Calamastratum, folks. I mean, how hard can it be? It's easy when you got sweet plants. So this sucker. And I'll just loop it over here to the top so you guys can see kind of what it will. I'm pulling it over the back so you guys can get the effect of, you know, really where this is going to go. So, I mean, yeah, certainly that plant will work in there. I was actually thinking Crenum natans, but this plant showed up, so we're probably going to use that. So that is really how we're going today. I wanted to show you guys kind of how it started. Now I've got, just to recap, I've got the border part. That was the mission critical part for me though. This part was kind of challenging, and I'm still not convinced of which way I'm going to go. I kind of like the round with the contrast of the little like crinkle. I like the round of the Anubias Nana Petite with that. So not really sure. I'm thinking that might be the way I go, but I wanted to see it kind of pulled together. And then the Staro in the back, that's a no-brainer. I'm going to like probably add 3 times as much of that. And then everything around through here, I'm going to show you how I'm going to build in the gravel in the next episode, where the gravel will build up. I'm also going to show you this kind of rock work and how I'm going to get into that. So that's what I'm doing. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm having fun doing this. Tune in next week and check out that collaboration I did with the Rick. Everybody make it an awesome week and tank on, folks. Later.